Hi. It's been a while since I made one of these yapping videos, and I'm going to kind of pick up from where I left off. I was talking about spirituality, religion, the paranormal, my experiences in particular, and as we grow, as we move through life, we grow, but I think if you're doing it right, you're trying to pay attention to yourself, and you're trying to pay attention to the world around you and learn something, right? Can I move about through this world wiser, with a better sense of perseverance, with more patience, et cetera, et cetera. Um, I think I mentioned in a long time ago, a long time ago video. It's been so long, I forgot how to talk here. I think I mentioned in a long time ago video that when I fell away from Christianity, which I was kind of brought up in uh, my late teens, I got to a point where I don't know that I was certain, or it wasn't very clear what I then would do with that faith, the kind of faith that I had been raised to cultivate. Now that I had pushed it aside, now what is it doing now? What is it doing in me? And the truth is that it's always there, but I think we can lose sight. It can become just like the subconscious and the conscious. It can be just there under the surface, and you don't realize, for instance, that you're having faith all the time. Because you don't know anything beyond your own self. You know you're real. You don't know I'm real. In a world where AI exists, where virtual reality exists, who's to say this isn't one big virtual reality game / test that everybody in your field of vision is just a projection, a prop, as my mom used to say. And so what I wanted to say in this video is, I've talked a lot of shit about Christianity, about the Bible, about the church, about typically the what Christianity has become from denomination to denomination. I mean, there are, it's multifaceted to an extent if you dig deep into it, but it's all pretty self-explanatory. You go to a couple of churches, you kind of get the gist of what people are preaching and believing, giving themselves over to. And I was in my kitchen just now preparing some food. And I thought to myself, if I owned a restaurant and I knew what all the food tasted like, perhaps prepared it myself, came up with the recipes, I knew what it was, and I went about promoting it, telling people, I think it's delicious, I think it's good because, I would be honest. That would be an honest endeavor. But if I had never tasted the food at the restaurant, and I went about trying to tell you to come to my restaurant and have the food, it's great, it wouldn't necessarily be like nefarious, but it would be dishonest. I don't know. I'm just saying it because I'm trying to make a buck, right? That is what so much of Christianity is, being a Christian. There are many people, and I'm not saying none of these people have had experiences, but a lot of these people are just, they've never eaten from the restaurant, and they're telling you, come on, it's great. It's great. And they've never had a bite. And what I'm trying to do, other than my music here on this channel, what I'm trying to do is offer my experience, my paranormal, weird, strange experiences as well as my experience with studying the Bible and studying religions, and uh, lately getting more into the idea of belief in me, belief in my world. What am I going to believe about me? What am I going to believe about my day? When I wake up, am I going to say, another day, another dollar? If it's not one thing, it's another. Or am I going to say, my world takes care of me? I'm always taken care of. Everything is going to work out today. That's what I'm going to believe. You start the day off, you get to, you can try to be neutral, but as Rush once said in a song, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. So what I'm trying to say is, be honest. You know what? I'm not trying to tell you to be honest. I'm trying to say, I want to be honest. I want to be honest with myself. I want to be honest with the world around me. I want to be honest with anybody, even though I know I'm not, I'm not going viral here, but I want to be honest with anybody that might be randomly listening to any of my videos. I think the value that we offer in storytelling and telling our story is just that. I'm being honest with you. I'm telling you what I've experienced, why I believe what I believe, why I think it might be unwise to believe some of the things that I have believed. See, I think I've had a lot of people unfriend me and block me on Facebook, and people I've known for years and try to tell me that I've heard a lot of things, and what they fail to realize is not a lot. The entirety of what I am discussing here is me, really. I've been a Christian. I've gone to many, many churches. I was Catholic. I was Mormon. I was Jehovah's Witness. I was Baptist. I was non-denominational. My mom took me to so many churches, and we were part of these churches for periods of time. And I went of my own accord at a certain point, after my lung collapsed when I was 17, and I started studying the Bible. Back in the 90s, I had a concordance, and I began finding the contradictions. There are blatant contradictions in the Bible. It's hardcore. I still need to make a video on I made one actually, and it got, I don't know what happened to it. I think it's on another SD card or something. I need to make another one. But I already have a chapter in a book that I'm writing. One chapter is on the second chapter is on contradictions in the Bible, and there's so many, it's stupid. And if you're if you're the kind of person that pays attention to that kind of thing, it might just take that chapter in my book alone to make you go, the hell are we doing here? But some people don't care. Some people were raised a certain way. They're not going to change. Some people were, did themselves in through drugs or whatever. And they found, this, and they're not, this was the first thing they latched onto. This is their anchor. This is where they're going to stay. I've talked to a lot of people that there is no amount of reason or rational thought that there's no argument that you can give that's going to make them say, you got a point there. Even if you have a huge point, it's just big pinnacles, pointed thing, and that's fine, because my intention here is, like I said, to be honest with myself, to be honest with you, to share my experience. If it helps someone, if it offers some kind of insight, that's the point. I've come across videos, I've come across books in my life, I've come across music, songs, lyrics, that strangers have written. I'm telling you, I feel an affinity, a kinship with some musical artists that I've never met in my life, more than I feel with much of my family, even, because they touch on such deep, just poignant things that are in here for me. And what's in here for me is not what's in here for everybody else. Some people don't give a shit about what I have to say, and that's fine. And some people are going to hear everything I have to say and go, you're consorting with demons and devils because you don't believe what they say to believe in the church on Sunday morning. And I don't believe what they say to believe in the church on Sunday morning. But I have been, over the past year and a half, concocting this idea. Well, not concocting, but moving into this alternate perspective of the Bible that I never had before. And I'm kind of digging on it in that respect, but I'm also hyper aware of the fact that any truths that I might be finding because of certain verses in the Bible, you can find without the Bible. You can shut the book and you can set it on fire and still come to these conclusions, still figure these truths out. And so yeah, I might be saying a whole lot of nothing here. We're at 10 minutes. But that's my point. I'm trying to be honest. Ask yourself, in life, if you are a spiritual person, if you are a member of a particular religion, or you go to a particular church every Sunday, are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest with those around you? Are you really, really being honest? Because look, as someone who was raised Christian, who was raised to believe that if I ever don't believe this, I'm going to burn in hell forever. That's my consequence, right? It in that respect, and because indoctrination, which believe me happened to me and has happened probably to you in some respect, I think it happens to all of us in some respect. It hangs around. It hangs around long after you decide, I'm going to walk this way. And it takes a tremendous amount of courage and strength to stand up for yourself, in yourself, and say, this makes sense to me and this doesn't. And I have to, as scary as it might be, even though I don't see anybody walking down this road, I see the sign and I got to walk down that road. Even if I'm alone, it can create anxiety. It can create all kinds of things that to others might make you kind of appear crazy a little. But I think if you keep going and you stay strong and you exhale and you play with your breath, my brother just mentioned box breathing to me. I think, and you have faith in yourself. You have faith in each of your next steps. I don't see how following that voice that if there is a God, he or she or it put it inside of you. And if it's leading you to love, and if it's leading you to a place where you seek the absence of harm and the absence of the negative, there's nothing wrong with that. And so yeah, this video is for anyone that needs maybe a little whisper in your ear to keep going, to do what it is you have to do. As long as it's harming no one, as long as you're not harming yourself, follow your heart. Maybe that should be the name of this video. Follow your big heart. Don't stop, because that's the one thing that's true. That's the one thing you can trust. Even if others don't trust it in you, even if others take it and shit on it and break it, that doesn't matter. It's still yours. And it's still the greatest gift you have. From my heart to yours, only love.